members of the legal profession inevitably face ethical dilemmas. It's not a question of if, but when.
But we keep this in mind. We make adjustment to those changes, but we hold to our unchanging values. That's what professionalism is.
I'm selecting people because I have confidence in their devotion to our Constitution and the rule of law.
Well, we have to continue to remember what it is the public expects from the court system. I mean, they expect justice. They expect us to be just people.
That each of us who are honored, privileged to practice law, would leave the profession not as good as, but better than we found it.
Hello, I'm Mark Martin, and I have the privilege of serving you as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of North Carolina and head of the Judicial Branch of North Carolina. We live in a time of rapid change in technology and demographics and in our economy. These changes are affecting our courts and our profession in unprecedented ways. At the same time, there are some things that do not change and some things that should not change. Professionalism has been a defining characteristic of the legal profession for ages. Values such as competence, confidentiality, kindness, and loyalty are essential to our legal system and to the success of lawyers in their practice and in their communities. These values have withstood the test of time. They have weathered fundamental changes in our society in times past, and I am confident that they will remain a key to the vitality of our profession in the future. Article 1, Section 35 of our state constitution states that a frequent recurrence to the fundamental principles is absolutely necessary to preserve the blessings of liberty. That precept applies equally to the study of professionalism. Being a lawyer is challenging. Practicing law in this day and age means facing many pressures that can challenge our commitment to professionalism. Billable hours, difficult clients, high-stakes representation, and antagonistic opposing counsel. Although the design of our adversarial system is effective for resolving disputes, it can also create an environment where zealous advocacy may cross the line into personal rivalry or unhealthy competition. While professionalism is easy to talk about as an abstract virtue, it can often be difficult to put into practice. It is not always clear what the professional course of action is, and there is not always a lot of time to make a decision. The consequences of our decisions can have a profound effect on our clients and their lives, and on our own careers. Even decisions that do not implicate the rules of professional conduct can result in lost clients, damaged friendships, or significant harm to a lawyer's reputation. It is important for each of us as lawyers to make a frequent recurrence to the values inherent in professionalism. We need to understand not only why professionalism is important, but also what professionalism looks like day to day. Professionalism is more than just fulfilling our ethical duties. It is about going above and beyond, being above reproach, and aspiring to the highest standards of civility and integrity that will earn the respect of our colleagues, our clients, and our communities. Members of the legal profession inevitably face ethical dilemmas. It's not a question of if, but when. In recognition of the need for the emphasis upon and encouragement of professionalism in the practice of law as set forth in the rules of professional conduct, the Supreme Court of North Carolina entered an order on September 22, 1998, establishing the Chief Justice's Commission on Professionalism. Since that time, the CJCP has been engaged in a wide range of programs, projects, and initiatives to support the unchanging goals and ideals that were the foundation for its creation in the first instance. That lawyers play a vital role in the preservation of civil society and an important force in governing under law. That the fulfillment of this role requires lawyers to understand their professional responsibilities to each other and to the legal system as governed by the North Carolina Rules of Professional Conduct. And that despite the demands of our profession, we must be intentional in treating everyone in the legal system with respect and dignity. In honor of the 20th anniversary of the creation of the CJCP, and on behalf of the North Carolina Judicial Branch, I have issued a proclamation declaring 2018 to be the Year of Professionalism. As your Chief Justice, I sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch this video presentation and hope that it has given you renewed insight into the work of this Commission for the benefit of the administration of justice in North Carolina.
For the past 20 years, under the leadership of Mel Wright and now Lisa Shepard, the Chief Justice's Commission on Professionalism has been carrying out its mission to enhance professionalism among North Carolina lawyers, judges, and law students. Chief Justice Mark Martin issued a proclamation on January 26, 2018, declaring 2018 is the Year of Professionalism. After 19 years of distinguished service, Mel Wright announced his retirement effective August 1, 2017. In May 2017, Chief Justice Mark Martin announced that in coordination with the CJCP Search Committee, he had selected Lisa M. Shepard to replace Mel Wright as Executive Director to carry on the work of the CJCP. Leading up to this anniversary year, the Chief Justice convened a facilitated strategic planning session for the CJCP in late July 2017, where the Commission members, along with Mel Wright and Lisa Shepard, explored ideas for the ongoing work of the CJCP in the coming years. As a result of that exercise, the CJCP has announced several new projects and initiatives in 2018. The launch of a new logo and website projected for June 2018, an expanded presence in social media, and the creation of a law school ambassador program kicking off in August 2018 to permit third-year law students from each North Carolina law school to actively participate in the work of the CJCP each year. In addition to the Chief Justice's proclamation in January 2018, the CJCP also launched its 20th anniversary celebration with publication of a calendar of monthly events highlighting its work across North Carolina, including a statewide roster of presentations and CLE events, culminating in an anniversary dinner honoring all current and former CJCP members in November 2018. These events have been published statewide with the placement of posters in all 100 county courthouses, and banners depicting the proclamation have been positioned at the Supreme Court building and the Court of Appeals, the Administrative Office of the Courts, the North Carolina State Bar, and the North Carolina Bar Association offices. Recently, several current and former members of the CJCP gathered to reflect on the work of the CJCP and its vision for the future.
They said the problem with law students go into law school, they have the same ideals that Atticus Finch had. But a few years out into the practice, that inner Finch has gone. That's the challenge for us.
Well, I think one of the ways we meet that challenge is that I want to be a mentor. You have been a mentor for me in so many ways. Everything that I have gained from having people who were encouraging to me and who were showing me the way that I should perform, act, represent myself as a member of the bar, so much of that was almost completely formed by people who cared to spend some time to show me how I should be as a lawyer.
And it's particularly important when, if I may defend the legal profession, I think we're among the least understood. And it is because between the charges of arrogance, elitism, and worse, we've moved to a place where we really have to respond, I think, by reaching back and reaching toward the rest of our society. This commission has that, I believe, as part of its important part of its charge.
The practice of law is changing. The technology and all the things that have come about, the added pressure on lawyers today, but the values are still there. And we all know that in our lifetime, and I'm older than anybody else here, so especially in mine, the changes that we've seen, the changes that are coming. But we keep this in mind. We make adjustment to those changes, but we hold to our unchanging values. That's what professionalism is.
Well, we have to continue to remember what it is the public expects from the court system. I mean, they expect justice. They expect us to be just people, and they expect us to be able to take the difficulties they're having and act on them in a way that will be responsive to their needs, but also in a way that they perceive and are comfortable with the idea that I have been appropriately heard and my issue has been dealt with in a fair manner.
I've been privileged to practice law since 1980. And I see those who have gone before me, particularly Chief Justice Mitchell, as he established this Commission on Professionalism with his vision that each of us who are honored, privileged to practice law, would leave the profession not as good as, but better than we found it. How can we do that? How can we encourage lawyers to treat others the way they themselves want to be treated? That's the goal of the Professionalism Commission, as we seek concrete ways to bring civility, collegiality to this profession.
The CJCP is looking forward to the future as it expands its programming to increase its engagement with and effective support for each of its constituencies. In doing so, it remains committed to the unchanging goals and ideals that were the foundation for its creation in the first instance. The CJCP's reference to the North Carolina state motto, Esse quam videri, to be rather than to seem, serves as a reminder to North Carolina lawyers, judges, and law students that they are expected to behave in a professional manner in all aspects of their lives, and that professional behavior should be a habit and not merely a superficial facade to be adopted only when convenient or expedient. By virtue of its wide-ranging projects, programs, and initiatives, the CJCP continues its mission to support and enhance the understanding of professionalism. Through the use of strategic planning exercises and a high level of engagement with statewide and national thought leaders in legal innovation, as well as an expanded use of technology resources over the past year, the CJCP is now well placed to offer a sustained and dynamic response to the needs of North Carolina lawyers, judges, and law students in the years ahead as it carries out its mission. Executive Director Lisa Shepard summarizes her current vision for the CJCP in this way.
I believe that the North Carolina state motto, Esse quam videri, succinctly describes how I feel about professionalism among North Carolina lawyers, judges, and law students. It is my view that lawyers in this state should be professional in all aspects of their lives, that they should engage professionally with not only their colleagues and their co-workers, co-counsel, opposing counsel, and the courts, but also in their communities and with their families and everywhere and with everyone they interact. It is my view that this Commission's role is to help lawyers, judges, and law students in North Carolina understand what that means and how to make professional conduct a habit, to be rather than to seem professional.
This concludes our review of CJCP's Vision for the Future. Thank you for your attention.